Hey everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I'll go with me Max and Elijah, and Jason will be joining us soon. He's just putting his baby to bed and stuff, so he'll pop in soon enough. Hey guys, how's it going?
It's
Good.
Monday.
It's
It feels like
Monday.
Sunday, but it's
Yeah,
Monday night.
yeah,
It's
I had,
special.
yeah,
Monday
it's
night
special.
special.
Well, I figured, I mean, there was so much that happened this past weekend that was going on that, and work came up. I had something yesterday. I couldn't make the channel. So I figured we'd do a Monday night special, see if we get any viewers, that sort of stuff. But I figured there's so much, I want to talk about Deadpool, and, we all saw it, and we'll wait till Jason jumps in, so we'll jump into that a little bit later. But then also San Diego Comic Con actually went up and had massive drops. And Max, you got the chance to go there, right? So
Yeah,
you,
I was at San
yeah,
Diego every day besides preview night. I didn't feel like driving up for that, but
gotcha. Fair enough.
yeah, I was there every night. I was there every day.
Uh huh.
I
Yeah, I
can't
had a
believe
Yeah,
you
good
go
glad.
time.
back and forth every day. That's like the crazy thing to me. I was
Well,
just gonna
here's
go. I
the
was
Yeah.
just gonna
crazy
go
part
on
that I didn't
Wednesday,
even
but
tell you
it didn't work
guys.
out
Uh
that way.
huh. Yeah.
So you know, I booked a spot like months in advance. They
Right.
screwed me
Yeah.
over like 3 times. Where they first shifted me to a spot that wasn't in and out, meaning they wanted me to leave my car in there for 5 days.
Right.
So I had to get that sorted out. And then once I
Oh
did it, when
no.
I got to San Diego, I found out the spot I booked wasn't actually reserved. It was first come, first serve.
Oh
So I had to
damn.
Oh
leave even
God.
earlier. Like I planned originally, like, oh, I'll get there at 10, be
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
walk right in,
Yeah.
leave here around 8ish, 7:30ish. It wouldn't be too
Right.
bad. But I was
Wow.
leaving here around like 5ish to try and
Damn.
get there before the lot
That's
filled up.
a
Ugh.
much better way to go because by 8 you're just gonna sit in traffic all the way through like Orange
Mm.
County. You're gonna get to Dana Point before
Yeah,
the
that's
traffic.
true.
Yeah. Well, enough about sitting in traffic and all that. What did you see, Max? What things that you? What are some of the comics you picked up? You went there
All right, let me
because you
run
wait.
through the list.
Well,
I'm sure you got a
actually,
giant
I'll do
stack.
wait,
this
wait,
as
wait. For anybody who doesn't know, let's do this. Anybody who doesn't know, Max writes his own comic, Centurion's Dice, and he's trying to.
Patreon's dice. You can see it on my
Yep.
Substack.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a link somewhere. If not, check my Instagram, unofficial Wonder
Yeah.
Boy. That's going to great my profile.
Yeah.
If you like Sword and Sorcery, if you like Conan, Red Sonja, this is a
Hmm.
more character-based version of that with a lot of deep lore.
So you were going down. I mean, San Diego Comic Con is the perfect place for you to try to kind of pitch your work and all that. And did you get the chance to pitch your work to people?
Yeah, I did. I pitched it to a lot of publishers. A lot of them showed a lot of interest, so waiting to hear back from a lot of them. But I
Hmm.
also ran into Tom Brevoort, the lead editor for the X-Men books, and got to give him a card, give him my book,
Nice. That's
my
great.
info, my Substack, and yeah, talk a little bit about X-Men with him. So that was cool.
Uh huh.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's awesome. So yeah, what things did you pick up?
let's run through the list. I'll do this quick.
No, go
All
through
right.
the
X-Men
box. You mean
129.
Wait,
the
we're gonna
giant box of
Elijah.
comics?
I
Oh
actually did get
yeah.
a
Nice.
big box this
That's a good
time.
one.
Yep.
Yeah, 129. First appearance of Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost. This is
Uh
a
huh.
That's a
newsstand,
great book.
and
Right.
it looks pretty good. I'll give the
Wait a minute.
context
Wait,
for how I got to
the
this.
barcode has is crossed out with like a Sharpie or something.
A lot of newsstands have that. I don't know why they crossed them out.
Hmm. Is that printed on there? Or is this just is someone crossed it out?
It looks printed on.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'll show another newsstand in a sec to compare though. I got X-Men 252. I already
Ha
had this
ha.
book. It was signed by Chris Claremont on the
Nice.
right here, but I got it signed by Mark Silvestri on the left.
Man,
Something
what
about
a
Deadpool.
time! What a time to get
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect week for that, huh?
that movie made me want to get that signed this week.
Wait a
Uh-huh.
minute.
And that
Did you
Bill
buy that there,
Sienkiewicz.
or did you take it and get it signed?
We got Jason guys in the
I
chat. Hey
I
Jason.
had this one already. This one
So
was
you took
signed by
that with
Chris.
you.
Uh huh.
Yeah. I bought this a while back. I got signed by
Yeah.
Chris Claremont
Uh
like
huh.
2 years
That's rad because
ago.
you took that there and got it signed, and like the day that was like the day that Deadpool that probably went up by like $50 or something,
Yeah, I was
or
seeing people sell
$100.
it for absurd amounts, but I was glad I
Yeah.
already
Uh-huh.
had that. Same with this. This was fetching pretty penny at the con. I
Oh
already had
yeah.
this for a while. I got this for like $5 a while back.
Okay.
X-Men 222. It's a great fight with Wolverine and
Uh
Sabretooth and
huh.
Marauders and all that.
Right.
Um, I met Bill Sienkiewicz and got New Mutants 18 signed by him. First appearance of Warlock and Demon Bear story. It's one of my favorite New Mutant stories. First appearance of Cable, 282. Got that signed by Wills Portasio. Yeah, that was cool. Got some slabs. X-Men Annual 14. Now this is a controversial book because
you got some reflection there, so angle it slightly out of the light of your.
Tilt it to the left of the right.
Tilt it to the left of the right.
You can't even really see it.
Okay,
there you
that's
go.
better. You can see it. Yeah, that's it. You see it better.
Yeah. This is the first published appearance of Gambit. It came out like a week before his first appearance, and it's not a cameo either. He's in the entire book. It's controversially debated if that's the first appearance. I think it is because
I didn't know that was the first. I thought the other book, the
266.
Yeah, 266 was the first appearance.
Yeah, you would think because they advertised it as that. Every grading company treats it like that.
I guess it's the first time he's on a cover.
It's because he's on the cover. Yeah, it's the big. He's not on the cover. I don't think. Of this one.
Then the other one's because he's on the cover. So that makes sense.
Oh no, he is on the cover. He's with the X-Men.
Oh, weird.
That's funny.
It is weird.
It came out a week beforehand, and CGC considers it the first appearance of Gambit, or the first published appearance of Gambit, not the first appearance for whatever reason. Even though he's in 8 pages of the book and has dialogue and is referred to by name, that's just a controversial. Yeah, it's one of those interesting things. I consider it the first appearance. I did not go to the Ultraman booth. It was packed though. I did get Young Avengers #1, 9/4. First appearances like Kate Bishop, Wiccan, Iron Lad. New Avengers. Good book. Young Avengers. Then I got Transformers #1, sketched by Daniel Warren Johnson.
That's cool.
If that isn't enough, I have another one that's signed by him too. So I have 2 copies of this book.
That's cool.
I got another sketch, mini sketch actually. This one's cool from my bud Joshua Cassara, who he finished up on the X-Men. He did a little Wolverine claw for me.
That's cool.
He used the silver Sharpie for the claws.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Sharpie and the silver Sharpie for the claws.
That's cool.
And more Marvel, I got Doom signed by Sanford Green. This was a big book this year. A lot of people really liked it. Jonathan Hickman wrote it.
No, wait. Did you get that before you heard the announcement?
Before. This was already a big book this year. That was
okay.
everyone was talking about. And Sanford Green was doing a free signing with Felix Comic Art. So y'all check that out. But my book gets signed. Some more cool Marvel news for that's relevant this weekend. This is the Disney-fied Deadpool and Wolverine variant. Mark Brooks. I love Mark Brooks' art. He's one of my favorite X-Men artists, Marvel artists.
That's funny.
Very different style for him, but he's been doing this whole Instagram thing of Disney-fied X-Men characters. So that's just a extension of that. Got some Tom King Wonder Woman books signed by him. This is the first appearance of Wonder Woman's daughter, Lizzie, and this is the #1.
Okay.
Everyone's going to talk talking about the future of DC, and he's involved in DC movies. I couldn't give too much away, but he got me excited for it. So, great to talk to him. Make sure I get this one right. Wait, what were you going to ask?
No, I was just saying, so basically, how many comics did you get this entire weekend in the end? Or
I didn't buy that many. I brought a lot to get signed. Right. I only bought 1, 2, 3. I bought a couple. Not that much. And then I got this great Nightwing variant signed by Bruno Redondo and Tom Taylor. This was like a 1 in 50. It's like,
hey, Ted.
It's a cool way.
Yeah, I really love it. How it connects.
That's cool.
It's really fun.
Nice.
A fold-out page or whatever. It's
nice.
Oh, that's a Nightwing.
Whoop. On your channel, Jason. That one that just kind of connects where he doesn't really stop.
Yeah.
I talked to them about that book. They both thought it was definitely a high point of their run. They really liked that.
Was there a POV issue too?
Yes, there was a POV. I should have brought. That would have been cool to get signed too. I talked to the artist Bruno about all the interesting stuff he's been doing. He's had a great time.
It's like as if you being John Malkovich, Dick Grayson.
Yes. We also talked about Bruce in the bat suit. which I know we talked about over text. We were
Yeah.
making jokes about that, and Bruno's laughing about how it's like people are outraged by it, but it's literally like a joke homage.
Yeah, did I send you
It's meant
that
to be
tweet
fun.
of like someone say it's like that mom who still fits in her dress, but it's
Yeah.
like ripping at the seams, and someone redrew
Tom
it.
Taylor, the writer, mentioned that. I said the same thing. I was like, yeah, Bruce is definitely the cool mom.
Yeah,
I
He's
got
like, look,
this
it still fits.
foil. Yeah. I got this foil witchblade shining a light so you can kind of see
Yeah.
it. It's a
Cool.
Bought that for the
foil.
story, huh?
Yeah. We were just talking about witchblade on Jason's channel. I saw Mark Silvestri there. I was getting some other Mark Silvestri stuff signed. So I had to go grab that book.
Does he
Nice.
still look like his drawings?
Does he look like him? No, he looks good. I mean, he
Still
looks
looks
pretty
like
good
his
for his age.
drawings.
So yeah, guys.
I got more.
yeah.
I got some more.
You got some more. Okay.
Okay, so the context for how I afforded some of these books is there were these blind. I don't do blind bags ever, but there were some of these blind bags that were absolutely calling to me. And I opened one and got like $150 worth of books.
Wow.
I flipped that for $120 and bought the X-Men 129. So I basically only paid $40 for it. So that's how I got that. Then I flipped a few more of them to afford some other stuff.
That's cool that you're going to Comic-Con and like doing trades and shit with the
He's
people.
doing the thing you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
People don't do that much anymore. It's like it's old school. People, it's these actual comic. It's great.
Yeah.
That's how I afforded the Young Avengers number, or not the Young Avengers, the X-Men annual 14, the first appearance of Gambit.
Yeah.
So I did some of that, but these are the books that I didn't trade that I came out with. A 1 in 100, Renew Your Vows number 5. I just love this cover of Stanley marrying them. It's cool.
Stanley.
1 in 100. Yeah, Stanley marrying Peter and MJ. That's just fun. I got a 1 in 300, all new X-Men 27, Alex Ross.
Pencil's good.
Yeah, cool. Big incentive ratio. Cool Alex Ross art. I got a 1 in whatever it is, some Diamond Select Avengers vs. X-Men book. I'm gonna get to sign with Jason Aaron this week because he's gonna be at Collector's Paradise signing for his exclusive cover, for him and Mike Choi's exclusive cover for the new Turtles book.
Cool.
And what else is there?
Like how the Ninja Turtles is gone back to the old font, like the original font, the original like.
Yeah. Yeah, the new number 1 came out this week, and it was pretty cool. So I'm excited to get that signed this week. And then the last book is this really cool 1 in 100 Virgin cover of Planet of the Symbiotes number 1. It's a great Knoll cover. I freaking love Knowles. Like, this is a badass cover. I'm going to hold on to this one.
Nice. Cool, man.
And that's everything I got at Comic-Con.
That's crazy. You had a busy 4 days there.
A lot of that, I ended up making my gas money back. So that's cool.
Good. That's great. That's a bonus then, huh? That's cool. Yeah, guys. So there was a whole pile of drops at Comic-Con this year, of course. But I figured we'd talk about. Well, we've all seen Deadpool and Wolverine at this point. Hey, Sucked, how's it going? So I figured we'd talk about that for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
I think we've all got to see it, which is good.
This is everyone's warning in the
there will be
chat
spoilers.
there. We are going to talk spoilers on this one, so I'm going to keep the spoiler alert up here. When we turn off the spoiler alert, we'll be talking back to the comic book stuff. There's some big spoilers to talk about, so if you haven't seen it, I'd advise maybe cutting this little segment out, or jumping ahead, or just holding off for a little bit because.
Well, I shouldn't get spoiled because the internet's a cesspool anyway.
Yeah. So this is your chance. First, we all saw it. What were your thoughts on it, Elijah?
I was with you. I loved it. There's a lot of things that like totally surprised me. So I'm glad that not much was spoiled. Like they did a really good job of like keeping things wrapped up so that the audience doesn't know, which was nice. Yeah. But I love, I thought it was the best of the 3 for sure.
Yeah.
I liked how it, it was his little group of friends was only at the beginning and the very end. So it was it was just him and Wolverine the entire time. It was like
I would have preferred a little more Colossus.
We'll get into that.
I would have wanted a little more Colossus. I thought it was so weird. Wolverine's whole thing, and this is heavy spoilers. So I'll give it a beat. But his whole thing was that the X-Men died on his not watch. He just left the X-Men. They all died. I'll get into that later. But he then sees a photo of one of his best friends, Colossus, Peter Rasputin. And he doesn't say shit until the end of the movie where he picks up the photo again and looks at it. Like, I feel like there should have been some mention of Wolverine and Colossus. Like,
I didn't even know
pretty
that.
iconic pair.
when they
they got special moves together.
Them,
Right.
That would make sense.
Jason, what were your thoughts on the film?
It was great. You know, it was like the most like comic booky movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
To see.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
It is the most fan service packed into a movie I've ever seen. Also.
Oh yeah.
They also did the fan service well. I
think so too.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like I was gonna get to that. Like it's done appropriately. I mean, you can get away with a lot, especially if it's Deadpool and you're in the void. Like the movie was set up for a fan service delivery factory, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they weren't necessarily strong on plot, obviously, in the film, and they even made special points about it in this film and saying, you know, this is the MacGuffin, you know, and
what the MacGuffin is that?
what the MacGuffin is that, and just the idea that was like, okay, fine, it's not going to be about heavy on plot, it's going to be about having fun. This was a popcorn film down to the core of what it was made up to be, and to be entertaining and funny and violent and funny, and I had a blast.
Yeah, and you know, I'm gonna go and say it. It's I wouldn't say it's the best out of the three. It's very entertaining. I'll give it that. But I think it was it did by the lacking of plot. Kind of that was the thing that kind of bothered me, but not even that bad because I was so entertained, you know.
Oh yeah, right. Absolutely.
Like as far as entertaining goes, I was the most entertained from this one. But like, there was some stuff in the plot. It's not a perfect movie, but man, was it fun.
Absolutely.
I think maybe on a second viewing, some of that plot stuff might be a little bit more stand out a little bit more, but it does.
I like the plot. I'll probably the other guy. I'd say I did like the plot. I thought it was fine. I thought they set up Cassandra Nova pretty well.
She was great.
A pretty intimidating force.
Yeah.
I would have wanted a little bit more of the TVA stuff because that was very much in the background.
Yeah, that was very bland. I mean, what is it about the TVA kind of like creating a bad guy element and just like, is it a power struggle in that place? Like, there seems to be always somebody trying to
think with Loki, there is a power struggle now.
Oh, really?
Because they've been doing everything the same way for so long. Now they're doing things differently. Some people are resistant to it, which is what I got on Mr. Paradox, was that he much favored the old ways of just severing the branch and cleaning up everything.
I would have rather like Deadpool overheard him talking about that instead of him just telling a very violent and unpredictable guy that he brought in and telling him exactly what he's going to do.
Sure.
That's what kind of bugged me about it. You know, like they just needed to move it along. We just got to get Deadpool to the void right away so we can start the show.
It was a very loose. Yeah, you're right. The anchor idea definitely didn't make sense. It was a very, very loose thread of a plot to have Paradox kind of like.
But that was also in Loki, wasn't it? The anchor beings.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
I know. Well, no, I understand the whole anchor beings. That makes sense to me. Like as far as like even a meta narrative on like how we killed off Wolverine, so it's time to reboot this universe. Like even in the meta sense.
Sure.
I know it was very meta.
But like the fact that why did Paradox have to bring Deadpool in? Like what was the point of that? And he's like, you could be something greater. It's like
I think
because you care, Paradox.
I think Deadpool screwed his world. His world was dying. Mr. Paradox was going to sever the limb of the branch, but then decided
why do you care about Deadpool so much.
Because he's the only hero of that thing. I think he legitimately thought he could be his pawn to play into, I guess, the TVA's role in the Secret Wars.
I guess he's like, this is something you want, so here you could have your own universe.
Yeah,
he was down in the Avengers.
It's like, I'm gonna kill everyone you love. Like, like that. So
Yeah.
and it's, it's like he should have known better.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
But that's just me being nitpicky. But I mean, I feel the same way about this with like, I guess No Way Home. It's like all the stuff's there. It's very entertaining.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like just through fan service, I guess.
Well, the weekend, this film ended up by making $38.5 million in the opening of Thursday night previews, which is crazy for a rated R film. And then it went on over the weekend to basically open with $205 million domestically, which actually is not correct now. They officially were figured out as 211 as of today is what it made up till the end of Sunday. Biggest R-rating film of all time. And the 8th biggest opening which is actually also down to the 6th biggest opening world time now, with 438 million. And again, I don't know if that number's changed. It probably has a little bit. But the cinematic universe has now crossed $30 billion worldwide for all of which definitely makes sense. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, the math is right? You got Logan, which was like one of the highest grossing rated R films, right? And then I guess one of the Deadpools did they surpass them, or were they able to?
I don't know. I'm not too sure. Oh, I think it. Yeah, no, I think it did definitely because.
Well, so it makes sense if you combine the two characters that made two movies that surpassed the most sales for rated R films. So the math is there. This makes sense.
The high, so on second watching.
Yeah, there was that moment with Thor. Deadpool does. They mentioned it.
Oh, sure.
Times. They're definitely trying to set something up.
Yeah,
I don't think Deadpool is going to die in Thor's arms. I think it's going to be a joke.
Now that scene was taken from when Loki was dying in Thor's arms, right? But there was just a reproduction, and they just mapped in. So I kind of took that as kind of like a bit of a tongue-in-cheek kind of.
That's the third time we've seen that scene in the Marvel canon.
Yeah, it is too kind of. Yeah, it's kind of.
We've seen the reenactment and Ragnarok, and now that.
Oh yeah. The
because they are dangling Avengers over him so much, I think they are going to dangle the Uncanny Avengers, which was a X-Men Avenger team-up group, a Unity Squad, I think they called it. Yeah. And Deadpool was on it with a Captain America, and it worked out great for Deadpool. He was very revered on that team, actually.
Yeah. So before we kind of jump into like all the really cool cameos and stuff like that, and moments.
I think I will say before we talk cameos, I think people have lost track of what a cameo is. If someone is in multiple scenes and has multiple lines and is a full-fledged,
it's no longer a cameo. It's no longer a cameo.
If they contribute to the
story, were characters.
They were characters.
If they contribute to the story, that's not a cameo.
Yeah,
Stan Lee's a cameo.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's one line, one scene, one location.
The Henry Cavill was a cameo. That was like
Henry Cavill here was a cameo, and what a great cameo!
Right.
Like, no, I did anybody expect that, or did anyone read that he was?
I did.
That was a rumor. That was a rumor.
Well, there's a rumor he was the Deadpool with the long hair.
Really?
The Funko Pop for Goodpool leaked a while back.
Okay.
And then Henry Cavill being in the movie leaked a while back, and people thought he was Goodpool.
Okay.
I didn't think he'd be Wolverine.
Yeah,
dang, that's crazy because that was a relatively new, like, thing of like Henry Cavill playing Wolverine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like John Krasinski playing Reed Richards was like years of like, that was the fan pick for years.
Yeah. But
like Henry Cavill as Wolverine, like that was like what, like these last year, I guess.
Yeah.
That's pretty topical.
But the comment that came with that, it's like, was great because basically it was saying the other guys screwed you over, referring to,
DC.
Like I was
DC and
it would have been like, if we got a Radcliffe Wolverine, that would have been crazy.
That would have been cool. Everyone guessed that the Wolverine with the eye patch was going to be him, but it's like, no, it was
Wolverine. There was only patch in that scene.
I think even Brent and I were watching it. We're like,
yeah.
We were like,
really? People were. I didn't hear any of that of Radcliffe.
It was good to see he was patched.
That's what they were saying on New Rockstars, that they were saying it was going to be Radcliffe.
Oh, really?
If you watched it.
Yeah, everyone thought that.
I mean, here's the thing, though. I think they didn't want to throw. I mean, the fact that they got Henry Cavill in there was one thing. It was good to have a gag about that. But if you did too many different actors, it might
It would have cheapened the scene. Yeah,
it could have. Yeah.
I don't know. They could have done.
I don't
I
think
wanted to see it.
if there's anything that's too much, it'd probably be
Yeah.
that.
Fox is not.
I wanted to see an old
not
Logan.
anymore.
I wanted to see an old Logan with Danny DeVito.
Yeah,
White hair, and a big
been
cigar,
awesome.
and Danny DeVito with a white beater on or something. That would have been rad.
So
I did do a lot of comic book variants though of
of
Logan at different points in his life. Some alternate universe ones like Weapon X from Age of Apocalypse and Old Man Logan.
You got this one.
Yeah, my favorite suit, the John Byrne Brown
Love
suit.
that suit, dude.
Incorrectly labeled as that's the suit he fought Hulk in, which it is not. He fought Hulk in the yellow cat-like suit with the short ears.
Right.
Yeah, like his first appearance. That's his very first appearance, right?
Yeah, Hulk 181.
And then I don't know too much about this version.
That's Weapon X from Age of Apocalypse.
Okay, all right, okay, that's cool.
I can pull out that first appearance to go for my bins.
Yeah.
Then of course
that brown and yellow suit is my favorite.
This moment here was kind of cool. I mean, I'd recognize this even just from the artwork. I'd recognize the imagery that they'd done before, and I've never read the comic, but there it is.
On the cover.
Yeah, I was thinking about Max when I saw that part. I was like,
right.
Yeah, you knew I would freak out. That's the part that actually almost made me jump up in my seat.
I almost stood up many times.
Yeah.
And then, of course, a bit later on, we get the whole full mask bit.
I wish we had more of the mask. It took way too long to get to the mask.
It did.
Dude,
it did
that wasn't even the final.
Amazing with that, and it's just
guys. That wasn't even the final Wolverine reveal. Like, like the final reveal that they gave us were his abs.
Oh, that was hysterical.
This is the second to last reveal we got for Wolverine. Like that, they weren't even done giving us.
Do you think that was enhanced a little bit, or do you think that because it seemed like but it was still funny as hell. It was like
huge jacked man, dude.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, that mask. I did thought it was kind of weird him jumping out of the back of the bus, like totally CG'd.
Oh,
he's just like.
Well, I don't know if it was totally CG'd. But at the same time,
it's very enhanced. It was kind of uncanny.
Yeah. Now is that based off of a comic that particular image or not, or is that just a hero shot?
It's a popular pose he does a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, with him like all scrunched up, jumping.
Yeah,
it's just one of those.
At least you could probably seen like 5 shirts with that moment,
Okay, yeah. It was still a great moment. I mean, like the fact that the camera just froze and we just see them there in that pose, and then they just drop straight to the ground in a very It was a moment. It was.
I like how they let Wolverine fight a lot more brutally in this movie. They didn't just do the whole.
He was pretty brutal in Logan though too. I mean.
It rated R, so they're able to go all out. Like the craziest thing he does in other movies is just like stick his claws into someone's chest.
Yeah.
But with like the rated R, I'm surprised he didn't cut off
Deadpool's CG. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know why he didn't cut off Deadpool's head at one point. Just sliced his head off while they fought like 3 different times.
Yeah.
Was it just me, or did their fights kind of just wash over me after a while because they're just two invincible guys? Like,
I get it.
But there were 3 very different fight sequences.
They can't kill each other.
Yeah.
It's like when I watch John Wick, like it's all great choreography and stuff, but it's just kind of like, all right, it's just so much.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was a standard fight. The second one was very creative. It was all inside the car, and
I
thought it was just
I
close
understand
quarters.
The uniqueness of each fight, but like after a while, you're kind of just like, all right, a lot.
I was fine with it.
It's great, but just huh?
That's how I felt about that last fight with Deadpool Corps.
I was kind of just like, oh man, this is a lot.
Yeah, that definitely took a while.
Or pseudo one shot, but I kind of wish that it was a little bit of a more traditional last fight, so we could really see some cool Wolverine and Deadpool stuff without having to shift our focus between each character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that sequence villain that really bothered me.
Yeah.
I like that sequence villain that really bothered me is that whole sequence was like totally on a back lot. It was just like, like a corner back lot was just always the same location. You're like, God, I don't know. It would have been nice if they moved around a little bit other than just have like one little section of wherever that was filmed. But you could totally tell it was some sort of back
and
lot.
they're Deadpools. Like they'll just get right back up.
Yeah.
Well, that was the funny thing. I'm watching them go down, and my brain was like, "Wait a minute, aren't they all supposed to be able to just get it back up?" And when they do, I'm like, "Yeah, that's the way to do it."
Except Deadpool.
Good pull. Oh my god, that was funny. Is that a character? I assume it is.
No.
Oh really?
What I thought they were gonna do with him, I really did. There's an evil Deadpool.
Okay.
Or a straight up messed up. I think they just call him Evil Deadpool. I don't remember his full name.
Okay. All right.
But I thought they were gonna go that way, where there's gonna be a supremely evil Deadpool who's gonna have to face off against.
Okay.
But instead, he was just a nice guy with a happy
dog. They didn't need to introduce that.
Nice Pool had one of my favorite jokes, though. He's like, I could do that too. The proposal. He just looks at the camera and says, the proposal. That was great.
That was funny.
My favorite jokes.
Yeah. No, there's some great stuff. So this will be the big cameos we're going to start talking about.
We
see the cameo additional scenes.
Characters, additional characters.
Oh, absolutely. These are definitely the additional characters. So we have Captain America who was in there, but he wasn't Captain America.
No,
who fell for that? I fell for it.
I didn't. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. As soon as I saw the leg, I was like, "That doesn't look like a Cap. Cap would have bigger boots." Yeah, the whole thing about it, I was like, it's Johnny Storm for sure. He's also cursing, and Cap wouldn't curse like that.
Cap curses now.
Yeah, a little bit.
He cursed at the end. He cursed in the end game.
Yeah.
That was his character growth. I got me. I was like, yes, because when he was at the NBA, they were showing all these Cap clips, so they're like kind of priming us. We're like, oh man, we got Cap on our mind.
Exactly.
But man, it caught me off guard. Like he's even wearing.
And even they show his forearm for his
it
looks like
that's it. Yeah,
right? It looks like stripes, like white and and white
he's
stripes.
wearing blue, and he's wearing he's even wearing like Cap pants too.
Yeah. We were here. But
it wasn't like the full. It was just like jeans or it was like pants that But it got me. And it was a great reveal.
Yeah. Dude. I mean, Elijah and I saw it together, so we both were just like, whoa. I think the whole audience just started clapping and cheering at that moment. It was like...
I watched it with
such a great
platypus. Comments. Me and Anthony watched it.
Hey, Anthony. Oops, sorry. I missed you there. Yep. Yeah.
That's a great thing. Dude, that car jitsu that Anthony brings up, that's a real thing. You guys...
Car jitsu? Fighting in a car?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Fighting in a car, fighting in a minivan?
Sport.
Oh, really? Wow. It's a sport? In a close quarter? Wow. Okay.
It's so hard to experience
fighting.
Okay. But it's like wrestling, grappling inside of a...
Ninjutsu in the car. So you're using you're confined and then you're using seatbelts and stuff like that. It's a tactical thing because a lot of people...
using seatbelts. Ashtrays.
Yeah, that's actually a thing a lot of people need to... useful to know, because there's a lot of car predators out there. You know, if you're a girl, probably should learn some car jitsu if you take a lot of Ubers and taxis and stuff. You never know.
Yeah, and the rest of the side characters that pop up, of course, we had. I
felt so vindicated on Elektra.
Elektra, she was great. I didn't.
I was the only person who's been talking about that movie in the last 5 years.
Elektra, yeah, I mean.
I think she was kind of rurumored to be in there, though.
Yeah, I thought she was rumored, but it just didn't.
She did a good performance, is what I mean. It felt very satisfying for me.
That was great.
Yeah, and then we've got X-23, and it was really nice to see. I mean, it's oh god, what's her name? Mental block.
Daphne Keane.
Yeah, Daphne Keane. She's been freaking rocking it this last year. She's been doing so well.
Two big projects in the span of 2 months. Yeah, absolutely.
But it seems like they're setting her up now because, she's brought back at the end there. So I feel like she's been set up to definitely be a big part of the upcoming MCU universe, I would hope.
I think she could be either her or a variant of her, different actress. I don't know if they're even going to cast another Wolverine. I think they might just go X-23's our Wolverine.
They could. They could.
Yeah. She just did like Logan's arc all over again with him.
And then, of course, we had Wesley Snipes returning as the one and the only Blade.
That was another joke that churned out really quickly. Like, there's people have just been talking about that now in the past few months. So, I guess it's been a while, past year. But they really pulled out the Blade jokes.
Hey, you know what? He honestly, I don't see any difference. I thought he looked great as the return.
Yeah, I thought he was sick as Blade in this movie when he did that no look shot when he caught the weird disc thing he throws in the Blade movies. It's all the cool Blade stuff you want to see in movies.
Yeah,
even said the line of ice skating uphill. There's one improv line from the first Blade movie. The self-awareness was cranked up to 11 in this movie.
Totally. Yeah. And then along with these guys, I mean, we also...
Gambit was also a huge...
Even Deadpool was like, I don't get along with the guy, or whatever. But didn't he have some line like that? It's like, I didn't get along with you before.
He said, you never liked me.
You never liked me, I never liked you.
But along with that, we also... It turns out that we had Toad, we had Sabretooth,
we had
Lady Deathstrike, all the original actors, too.
Yeah, Azazel in there.
Azazel. Yeah, who else?
Some other few people in there.
There was a different Juggernaut.
Yeah, apparently, what's his name? Who played
Vinny Jones?
Vinny Jones was not available for it.
No, I really.
How's he doing?
What?
The hell's he busy doing?
Or you wanted too much money?
He put out a statement about it. He said they asked him to be in the movie.
Yeah.
He said the costume is cumbersome. I'm guessing the helmet's not great to wear.
Sure.
He complained I would have to drink with a straw. So he said they didn't offer him enough money. They couldn't reach a number that they were both comfortable with.
Oh, really? Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's a pity. I mean, I enjoyed him as...
He's the Juggernaut.
Yeah, that's it. But, that was great. And, of course, let's talk about the one character who's never had his own film or never had his own TV show or anything, Gambit, played by Channing Tatum. It was funny. I mean,
I loved it.
I had a laugh. I mean, he looked horrible. Like, he didn't quite fit in the uniform, but it was great. That was
great. That was catharsis right there. I was
absolutely.
That.
It's kind of a bad accent, and then they made it to where they can't even.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay because Deadpool. It's okay because Deadpool references vocal coach or whatever. It's your dialect coach.
Yeah,
it's great.
That was great.
I don't know. He was like the complete comic book version of Gambit that Channing Tatum always wanted to play because he's been for years saying that the movie was supposed to be literally that with him in the pink armor and everything.
Yeah.
Which,
the visuals, the way that they use the cards and everything in combat.
It looked cool.
Fantastic.
It looked so good. It was very satisfying to see something that accurate across life. Like it felt like X-Men '97 when he was doing some of those projects.
This was the theme of the movie, right? You're just like, you got Wolverine's suit, you got his suit.
Yeah,
it would have been funny if he fought Taylor Kitsch at the in that. If Taylor Kitsch's Gambit was part of their gang.
My god!
Seth, you didn't like Channing Tatum as Gambit. Not good. It was funny.
Yeah, he's definitely a lot bigger than most Gambits.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool to see them actually try and do something that
absolutely
looked like a Gambit. Like you instantly looked at him and you're like, I know who that character is. He's not wearing the standard Marvel suit.
Well, I think they were talking about this back in 2015, so that Channing Tatum would have been a lot more size of the Gambit we're thinking.
But even then, it's still, it's like I would like to see a version of Gambit in the upcoming, MCU with that kind of visual behind and finesse behind the character. I think that.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to adapt. I'm always curious to see how people adapt Gambit's costume because I don't think it's one of the. I don't want to say lamest, but it's definitely not one of the greatest costumes.
Weird.
thing.
It's a weird
Yeah,
costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weird pink chest plate. Like, the only thing that saves it is the coat. But like the thieves guild armor he wears is just not it.
Yeah, he's got like the shin armor.
He's got the big shin pads.
It's totally a comic book, 90s comic book thing.
Sure.
Like,
yeah,
not very tactical, but like, you know, that's Gambit.
Yeah, it was still fun.
I know.
Yeah. I don't have any images here, but of course, then we end up with all the different Deadpools at the end of the movie there on the big Deadpool fight that we loosely talked about. I have no idea who half of those Deadpools are, and
the only notable ones were Lady Pool, Baby Pool, Kid Pool, Head Pool, and Cowboy Deadpool.
Yeah,
it was Matthew McConaughey, right? That's
what I heard. Yeah, I read that.
Blake Lively was Lady Deadpool.
Yeah. Who's
I couldn't tell if it was Matthew McConaughey or Woody Harrelson.
No, it was Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, I did read that. And there was somebody else in there too. I can't remember who it was. Played one of them. But
his wife was Lady Deadpool.
Yeah, one of them.
You just froze there, Elijah.
Was that Elijah?
Oh, I was trying to get it out. Yeah, the other McElhenney, Rob McElhenney, was one of the Deadpools.
Oh, really?
Rob McElhenney is the guy who owns the football team.
That's it. Nathan Fillion. That's it. That's it. He was in it. That's it. He was Headpool.
Wait, who was the guy you're talking about, Elijah? Who is that?
McElhenney.
I think he was in the movie.
Oh,
he was one of the Deadpools because he's the co-owner of the soccer team with.
Right.
Oh, okay.
There was a Deadpool with their insignia on it.
Right.
That was that.
Yeah.
But he was also a TVA agent that they cut from the film too, right?
Kind really?
TVA agent. That's right. It was a TVA.
He was supposed to be eaten by Goliath, but then they cut it. And it's kind of like I saw him tweet about it.
Okay.
But I think that you cut it for a joke. As a joke.
A Wrexham player, the soccer team Rob owns, was one of the Deadpools. One of the soccer players in the team was one of the pools. I mean.
Right.
Yeah, because he had the logo. He
was Welsh
color. Yeah.
Welsh pool.
The other thing I wanted to talk about is just, I guess, the appreciation of the right music that they used in this soundtrack for the film and what we got. I think everything worked for each of the different scenes that they were played out to be.
2 Huey Lewis songs.
Yeah.
How many? There's so many like moments of walking in slow motion. Was that like over the top? Was that too much?
I didn't pick up on it.
Oh, I didn't think so. A bit much. I was like, here we go again. They're looking in slow motion again.
Yeah.
I was surprised they didn't go with funny credits this time. Remember in the first 2 movies they did like joke credits?
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, that first mid-credit scene, though, I mean, who got emotional? I freaking got teary-eyed because
that was...
They're playing that Green Day song. Of course.
Yeah, well, that added to it as well. But you had really...
That was my high school graduation.
Oh, really? But you had some really great behind the scenes of the Fox universe, just filming and behind the scenes stuff, and obviously it's like it is an end to that era, and it's kind of like
I like how it referenced
all
not just the ones the fans like, or the people that were in the movie, but the montage mentioned everything.
Yeah, they had Fan Force Stick in there.
Yeah. I know that's when I was like, oh shit, they're really trying to actually
they really bring all of them up, huh?
Yeah,
not trying to bury any of these.
And then using Madonna's
like a prayer.
I think. I mean, it was for me it was a weird placement using that song in the fight scene. I guess with the other Deadpools, it worked, but it was like, okay, it's a little weird to have it. I don't know what it represented.
Wasn't that song in when they destroyed the machine?
That was the choral version of it, which was perfect.
Oh, they like brought it back.
Yeah, they brought it back as the choral version, the score choral version, because the choral was what was on stage live at San Diego Comic-Con. And that was great. That was like...
They did a Wrath of Khan.
That moment hit hard. Yeah. I will say that. Yeah, that was a good moment.
Yeah. Oh, when they, and again, it was the stupidest kind of way to stop the bad guy, but it was such a visually,
It was visually pretty satisfying. I didn't, as cheesy as it was, I really didn't hate it. I was like, this is
that was great.
Oh, I loved it.
No issue with that.
Yeah.
I like the continuity of the spaghettification too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've seen it so
like
much.
Loki show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was some cool stuff. I mean, and then of course we had a very end credit scene.
Oh, wait a minute. I liked all the little knickknacks in Happy Hogan's.
Office. Happy Hogan. Oh yeah.
All the little knickknacks, the little swinging from Iron Man 2, the little swinging thing was in the back. Like, it was loaded with all those little knickknacks.
And the suitcase was there. The Iron Man's suitcase. Yeah.
They had the picture.
The kid helmet. Yeah.
That's
helmet but it was of where he is.
Yeah.
Right in front.
Like said it. I was gonna say that, but yeah, you said
it. Yeah. Now there was so much.
Yeah, I like that they didn't have Colin's likeness or something. Or
yeah, I saw the interview with Ryan talking about meeting Madonna personally and using the song. If you get the chance, you can find it online. It's Ryan Reynolds talking about how he approached Madonna and to get permission because she very rarely lets films use that particular song of hers, and he obviously convinced her and everything went forward. It was great. Yeah. Yeah, we're just about finished. Finished Anchorman, because I know you're going to see it on Wednesday. Give us like 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to finish up, and then we'll move on to Comic-Con stuff. The end credit scene, the very last little moment, which we see
And you can quote me on that.
You can quote me on that with. I thought that was just it was fun. It was silly. It didn't add anything.
As I said that, I was like, "Oh, Deadpool wasn't even that wrong." It really wasn't that much his fault as I thought it was.
Verbatim.
Yeah, but
I like you can hear Chris Evans' Boston accent when he's talking like that too.
Yeah. I don't know why he's got a Boston accent with Johnny Storm though. I was thinking
about because it's Chris Evans.
Yeah,
I know.
But end of the day, what would you give this film, guys, out of 10?
I give it an 8.5 to 9. Mm-hmm. I liked it a lot. There was obviously a lot of fan service moments that made me really happy. Maybe I'll give it a 9.5 if I see it again. The only thing that was shaky on was the TVA elements. I wish they leaned into that a little more. I really wish they explained why he was in 616 and to set up all the Avengers stuff that he cared about. But
I could see with the DVD of them being at least 15 to 20 minutes of extra footage in there.
Oh, yeah. I hope so.
You know, because they did just enough with the TVA stuff because otherwise it would have been like too much.
I would like an unrated version, like what they do with a lot of comedies.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do that with extra stuff in it.
Yeah. What would you give it out of 10, Elijah?
I mean, they're going to sell that DVD. They're going to want to put extra stuff in there. So.
Yeah. What would you give it out of 10? Sorry. What would you give it out of 10, Elijah?
Oh, I'd give it a 9. I'd give it a 9.
Jason?
I really liked it. It was good.
He's thinking?
8. I said
8. Oh, sorry, it didn't go through. Okay, 8. I'm an 8.5. I enjoyed it a lot. There are things in the first 2 Deadpools that I think were creatively different that work better. But I had the most laughs in the number 3. Which was what it was supposed to be.
I think also the coolest stuff in this movie that kind of when you take Deadpool and you make him cool, but you don't make him like kind of suck the whole time was like something like the Wolverine claws, all the extended fights he had with Wolverine. I think they really showed him as a lot more competent in this movie. Which I really appreciated.
Let's just pay competence though. For even in the first one, he was just like super ultra skilled. He always has been.
Oh yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
But like I didn't think he was lacking on any of that anywhere. But like,
I thought too he seemed a little incompetent. He needed I don't know.
Is that Wolverine?
No, in Deadpool too.
Oh, Deadpool.
I think it was just like his motivations for like why he was like he broke up with what's her name?
Oh, that was a little weak. Yeah,
that I could have done with that. I think it didn't really serve the story much. I think they could have really just stayed together and
Yeah, it would have been better if it was just his motivation to just save his own universe. You know, you didn't really need that. I thought that was kind of
if she promised him a good pegging after he answered the door.
Let's just say one last thing about the film. Hugh Jackman's performance I thought was fantastic in this movie. I thought he put like 110%, even when he didn't need to because it was silly and whatever. He was great in every scene. He was awesome. I think.
Oh, and one more
like a 4'3" comic accurate, or less than comic, shorter than comic accurate Wolverine.
He was the same as he was the same Wolverine as like he was in the same place as Logan.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. I mean, he knows that he's done this character for like 24 years. He knows this character inside out.
It doesn't matter. I mean, whatever he does is going to be Wolverine. I mean, he is Wolverine. So if Hugh Jackman plays it in any way, it's like, well, you're going to buy it as Wolverine because it's a different. Whatever.
I just thought, he killed it, and then I just wish there was more payoff for what his backstory was instead of just like. I guess he got killed by
I didn't love his backstory. Yeah.
No, it was.
It was
all the X-Men died because he wasn't there. Yeah. I'm like, you're saying every other X-Men is that incompetent.
Exactly. It was kind of generic. You know, like I was just out at a bar and
you're right. That was but that's story. That's not performance. You know,
couldn't do it. Like no, I know. I'm not saying this is performance, but like I just wish his thing was pulled off. His motivation. So like that's what was lacking for me. But then, like we haven't mentioned, the NSYNC song at the beginning was great. Choreography.
With those.
God, I love that. That was great. That was one of the best intros we've gotten. All the intros have been great for all three Deadpools, but one was just like so good.
That was great. With just, taking the skeleton and taking it apart and taking fingers and putting the
adamantium skeleton.
I bet that song is getting like tons of plays on Spotify because of that.
I'm sure. I'm sure all of it is. Yeah.
I do think it's great. Like, we're not going to disrespect Logan's legacy. We're just going to desecrate his corpse.
Yeah. So, last thing, and then we'll move on because I don't want to talk about Logan once we jump back to the other stuff because I don't want any spoilers popping up for people. Will we see Logan and Deadpool between now and what the MCU just announced as part of their?
No, we'll see them in Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, 2027, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just it's hard to think of where they'd fit in, or where Deadpool would. It would be crazy.
They might make mention of them or something, but like definitely by Secret Wars for sure. Because that's going to be loaded with everybody.
Yeah, it's 2027.
I think it's going to be the same way everyone thought how in Infinity War, well, how is Cap going to fit into this? He's on the run right now still. And it was a lot of like, how do these characters fit in?
It's not about how you fit. I'm sure they could find a way to write him in, but just the way he is in there and tonally, it's going to be kind of weird. But like, I'm up for it. You know.
My guess is they latch on to Spider-Man. Him and Logan. Team up with Spider-Man who brings him into the wild.
That would be a fun team.
And it would be an added layer of Spider-Man. No one knows who he is anymore either. So his introduction would be even shittier, and Logan would just be disappointed and be like, "Oh God, kid, this kid screwed me over." Just met him.
Tom Holland Spider-Man and this Deadpool would be great to see. I want to see them together.
Yeah. All right, guys.
We've always wanted to see him and Wolverine, and now it's like, I want to see him with Spider-Man now.
Yeah. All right,
let's see Wolverine and Spider-Man more. I think those are some really interesting characters when you pair them up together.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on from
right. They're just like they're all great team ups.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, we'll move on from Deadpool, so we won't talk about any more about spoilers on this as we go on. So, okay, so much other stuff happened, including a ton of drops for tons of different things. Let's see. So one of the drops was they're going to be doing a spin-off series on The Boys called Vought Rising, a prequel, 1950s. Obviously around Soldier Boy, right?
Soldier Boy and his group.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that the boys are doing the exact thing that they're parodying in The Boys.
I know. That's why it's a little funny when they're like, the Boys Cinematic Universe. Anyway, here's our Hall H panel to announce our prequel.
Here's our prequel. Here's our cinematic universe. Spin-offs. You know, it's just like
that's kind of fun.
The parody. It's funny.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't catch too much news on the boys. I don't know really what they were talking about. I assume Gen V is the next one that comes up next year, and of course they announced that season 5 is the last season. So, but I didn't catch anything.
I like that it has an end.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, me too.
Because like sometimes they just kind of fade out.
Yeah.
They keep going, but like you know, it's nice that we're not dealing with a Walking Dead here. You know.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Yeah, there's that. I know you guys are not the Star Trek, but they actually have announced several actors reappearing in a new Starfleet Academy series, including Robert Picardo, who was way back from Star Trek Voyager. So he played the holographic Doctor. So I'm kind of excited to see what that goes on. But you know, as such,
he's a Joe Dante regular right there.
Yeah.
Picardo's like in every movie ever.
Alien Romulus, they dropped a poster there. They dropped face huggers. Apparently, everybody who went in to see the Alien Romulus, not the screening, but the actual, the hall, all got face huggers. Apparently, did you see anybody running around with face huggers, Max, at all? Or
now that I think about it, I think I did.
Yeah, people who went in there got these free, full-on face huggers as part of a, under their chair kind of thing. It was like, whoa, that's kind of cool.
Well, did they look real, or was it?
They look pretty detailed. I mean,
like a rope and scarf, or
I mean, it was like the full, it was a full plastic thing. It was pretty, I would say that they would have spent some serious money on that. And they gave away like 5,000 of them apparently.
Wow.
That's quite. It was kind of crazy. Of course, there was no real news on Star Wars, but they did have the Acolyte stuff up on display, and Star Wars Lego, of course, got Rebuilding the Galaxy, the new Lego show. But Max, when you were there, you took a few photos and stuff for us, which
I took some photos and videos.
Some of
the lightsabers.
Yeah, lightsabers were there. The video I've got here. Actually, we'll just play the video. So this is some of the stuff that you. Turn this volume down a bit.
This is May's outfit. And Osha's outfit.
Yeah.
With the little pip
there too.
Yeah, last year they had the Ahsoka stuff on display there, but it's nice that they actually bought some of the. Oop, hang on, we just froze. What happened there?
May used the dark side.
That's weird. I don't know why that paused. Let's go. Nope. Somehow.
Yeah, Kildnaka's lightsaber is massive.
Yeah, it looked huge. That's weird.
Like a Pringles can. Like
and I'm gonna exit this and I'm gonna replay it. Remove. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. Present video file and I know it's in there somewhere. Oh, there it is. Sorry, don't know why that. So yeah, it seems like they had like about 5 or 6 costumes there, was it?
I mean, they weren't using.
They had a bunch.
Obviously, yeah.
That was the coolest one to see, though.
Oh yeah, some of the weapons and stuff, right? Yeah. Some of the artwork's quite beautiful too. You did a little bit of video stuff for me for some of
the. All the micros. Was it the
micro
galaxies?
Micro Galaxy. Yeah. They had Deadpool on display there. Yeah, these are all costumes.
This is the actual costumes from the movie.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the upgraded TVA.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Captain America. They obviously had Brave New World heavily advertised there. What was this?
Alex Ross art. This was Alex Ross art, the Alex Ross Gallery.
Gotcha.
I could not afford anything there.
Absolutely.
That thing's dope. That's a good mine. It's a good.
Yeah, now it's gonna be.
Yeah. Who's this guy?
Yeah, I met Blake Anderson from Workaholics.
Okay.
Doesn't know who that is. You won't know.
No, I'm not familiar. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. This would be a hard one to think. What would Brent possibly know Blake in?
Probably not.
I don't think he's.
Gosh, what it would be in. nothing that Brent has watched.
I genuinely don't know.
Fair
I don't
enough.
think
Fair
so.
enough. So James Gunn obviously wasn't there. DC didn't have a huge presence there, from what I understand. But
No, they had
basically,
a massive presence there.
oh, they did.
Had an unbelievable. I will say, DC had
Oh,
the
okay.
one of the busiest booths for comic
Really?
books. Their booth
Okay.
was busier than Marvel consistently. I couldn't even
Really?
get into the standby line to
Wow.
get into the thing because they kept coming back every day.
Yeah.
One of the guys felt bad that I couldn't even get into the line, so he gave me one of the exclusives for free.
Oh wow.
He's like,
Oh, the absolute Batman, dude.
yeah,
that
the
ab-
ash can for it.
Is
Yeah,
that
yeah, the
absolute
stick
Batman?
for it.
Dude, what's
Wow.
up with the
Yeah.
logo, dude? It's like bare.
Okay, he explained it. It's a bat symbol with spikes.
Okay.
But he
That's
felt
cool.
bad that I couldn't get into the I couldn't even get into the line to buy
Wow.
stuff. So he's like, "We got something in the back for you," and he just pulled that out and gave it to me. I was
That's
like,
crazy.
"Oh, dude, thank you, man."
That's what you're gonna say about
After
that
4
damn
days of
logo?
seeing you trying to get in
Yeah.
line.
That's all you're gonna say
Well, here's
about
what
Batman
happened. It happened to
Absolute
all the-
logo?
Yeah.
That's all you gotta say about it?
That's
It's
funny.
weird.
One of the sorry.
Well, the crazy thing about the DC line was it was all like resellers and people who got in through people working the convention.
Sure.
But I was because I had to get there so early because of parking. I was there near the front of the line when the doors opened for the for the
event,
exhibit
yeah.
hall. And by the time I raced over there, and I was one of the first people there, it was already
people.
capped
Yeah.
from just people
Yeah.
who were trying to resell
Whoa.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That's kind of crazy. Well, I mean, when I was saying that DC didn't have a big presence, they didn't have a big feature film presence, so to speak.
They
Because
did
of course
too.
they. Oh, I mean, yeah.
I mean, not feature films, but
Right.
animated and TV and stuff like that.
Right. Well, because
They
of
have
course.
big Jim Lee panels and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But they also announced their new logo. I don't know if you have a picture of that.
I do. Yes.
Animation.
Wait, I did.
No, this is gonna be the logo. I actually had to ask Tom King about this.
Oh, damn.
Because I was curious. Because apparently it is going to be the logo for all DC comics going forth now. I think they're bringing it in starting September.
This is a red version.
Oh, cool.
But
Going back.
the blue
Get back
version.
to form,
Yeah.
right?
I did have, but
Back to the classic.
From the 70s to like 03, they used this logo. I think
What
from,
I
like,
grew up,
76 to
what I
2000.
grew up with.
Oh, here it
That's what I
is.
grew. What I always had growing up was that logo until they changed it with the around the time of the new
There we go.
Infinite Crisis.
Yeah. Huh? Which one?
Yeah, that's gonna. They have a
Yeah,
one for DC.
this is it.
The only thing that's gonna be different with the movies is it says DC Studios underneath. So it seems
Right.
like I don't know how James Gunn and Peter Safran got the authority to change it over the whole DC banner, but I love this logo, so I'm not
I
going
think
to
they're in
complain.
charge. Fair enough. That's cool.
Because
Yeah,
they think they're in charge. They're not supposed to be. They're in charge of DC Studios and
Right.
entertainment, but not Jim Lee was supposed to be in charge of the comics. But they were like, "Hey Jim, we're changing the logo," and he was like, "Great idea, boys, changing the logo."
Fair enough.
There's a whole animation to the studio's logo too.
Yeah, it looks great. I love
Yeah.
the new logo. I really do.
Superman
I
fucking
think Jim Lee was
thing.
probably saw that and was like, "Yeah, this is a good idea going forward. Some good synergy, but also it's such a classic logo."
Yeah. We're just going back quickly with the Superman. Obviously, they're still shooting it, but the merchandise that they had for Superman there for
Oh
the
my
Superman
God.
movie sold out in the first 2 hours. Apparently, I think day 2 or day 3 they had a little bit of merch, but they sold out
You
again.
can get the same shirt at Hot Topic. It's really not an exclusive shirt.
No, but it's like,
On the
well, I mean,
box
it would be
and-
because the back would probably have Comic Con on it. Like this is the one I got
Probably.
from Star Wars thing, and it's like so it probably has Comic Con exclusive stuff on the back of it, like on the back of the collar.
You pull up
but,
that photo of it? Yeah, I really did kind of want some of the comics they had. I couldn't even
Yeah.
get in line.
Yeah, nah, all that went in the first 2 hours. It was.
And if you spent, I think, $100, you got a
Mm.
big funeral for a friend poster that's like as big as the Storm poster back here.
Oh wow.
And I almost was like, I'll want to buy that poster from someone.
Yeah. And then what was the other thing? Oh, I mean, I don't know if this was directly there, but they were announcing that Batman 2 and Supergirl World tomorrow confirmed for IMAX.
Yeah, Matt
releases.
Reeves confirmed Batman 2
Yeah.
starts shooting soonish. And he did a whole thing with the Penguin and explained where that story came from.
Yeah, and it's supposed to exist like very shortly after the Batman one, and then
immediately following,
and then it leads right into the Batman 2. So
yeah, because it's like right after Falcone dies,
and they dropped a new trailer this week as well. We won't talk too much about it, but it looked good. Though. It looks great. Well, actually, they did. They dropped it at Comic-Con, didn't they?
Yeah, they dropped it at Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's
Comic-Con news. DC was there.
Yeah,
they showed out.
Yeah, I saw it last night when I watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
me too.
The other one they dropped also was I think they showed the first episode, did they not? Of Batman Cape Crusader.
Yeah, they did.
Bruce Timm's animated series. Yeah,
it looks one great. Thing that's got DC fans apprehensive about Bruce Timm again is he consistently pairs Batman with Batgirl.
Right.
And some people really hate that.
Really? It looks like there's a bit of a mash-up of characters. It looks like it's a female version
changed Penguin. They gender swapped Penguin to be Oswalda.
Right. Okay.
Nice. Oswalda.
That starts. Yeah. Well, that starts April 1st. That's that's like a couple of days' time. That's I forgot where.
A couple days.
Holy crap! Yeah.
That's on Prime.
Yep.
That's weird. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It went through a whole thing. It was supposed to be a Max member. It got canceled.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd expect it on Max, but
it was under Prime.
Push it. They sold it to Prime.
I'll have to figure out
how before the James Gunn merger.
Find a way to watch it. The other thing that they announced, Warner Brothers, was Creature Commandos, which is they showed a trailer. A lot of the voice casts that are in it are listed here. It seems like a lot of characters voicing, their pre-existing characters, obviously.
Yeah, you got Frank Grillo.
Yeah, Sean Edgy.
Dr. Phosphorus looks fun on the show.
David Harbour's in there. Yeah, Alan Tudyk. So yeah, I don't know anything about these characters. I'm gonna check it out and see what it's like. I'm guessing it's
some of them. Like Weasel and Rick Flag Senior. You can kind of get the gist of.
Yeah. I just as a whole though, as a general,
they're deep cuts though. Characters like GI Robot just aren't like they're not an A tier.
This is why you watch it, Brent.
Well, that's it. You get to learn a little bit more. So I'm curious to see what actually what they're all about and what they're doing with this and why.
But with we're not using people anymore. We're just using monsters.
Right. But it's also just why are they choosing this to be the first animated story in the new
save on the makeup budget.
Saffron.
I also think it's one of those things James Gunn does well at. I think it's one of those things James Gunn does really well at. Take a bunch of mostly unknown characters from general audiences, and bring them into a comedic action style thing with some heavy stakes drama involved. And I think it's just one of those things he knows he's good at, knows he can deliver. So
we're asking why it's going to be a cartoon.
Why it's a cartoon?
Oh no! No. I mean, no. I wasn't. I was asking why would it? But
save on the makeup budget.
No, but out of all the animated DC characters that they could have picked, they definitely picked an unknown rather than
they're monsters.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm curious.
I'm just saying that's probably why.
Yeah. No, totally. Yeah.
They definitely wanted to start with an animated property, but they also didn't want to use up one of the big properties like a Wonder Woman or a Green Lantern. Yeah. Someone else have to follow that canon immediately, and you wouldn't be able to bring a new director in who wants to do something original with the characters.
Yeah.
But it'd be fun, because they're established, and because of Viola Davis and Frank Grillo and Weasel, they're recurring characters in live action, so they could easily be brought in, possibly.
Yeah.
Well, Rick Flag Senior is going to be in Superman, so he's already going to be across, and Peacemaker, so he's going to be all over the early DC stuff. I'm sure Waller's going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I mean. They're in this show, so the continuity's there. So there could be some good.
It's going to be interesting having an animated world that's the same world as the live action.
Viola Davis is Waller, right?
It's a Star Wars.
Viola Davis is Waller.
Waller, that's it. Yeah, I forgot that. I was trying to put the name with the face, and of course, she was
the official only survivor of the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
David Harbour was in the first Suicide Squad too. Is he playing the same character, or is he a different dude?
I'm not too sure. I don't think
Harbour was in Suicide Squad. Who was he in Suicide Squad?
Table discussing things.
Oh, really?
He's like one of like I don't know, some guy in a suit. He was at the table with Viola Davis when she's talking about I got some people we could put together. It's the first Suicide Squad.
Oh, I don't think he's playing that same character. I think he's playing Frankenstein.
Okay.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Okay.
Frankenstein.
Makes sense.
How many comic book characters is this guy getting, huh?
Yeah. Hey, he's
in
doing
a
well.
Hellboy. He's in a Black Widow. Now he's a second DC
He's
role.
a fun actor to watch. I mean, he's
great.
Yeah, he's a blast. Other things they dropped over the weekend. They had a panel there for Superman and Lois, the last CW show ever to be made. 10 episodes series finale. I'm excited for this. Max, I think you said you're pretty excited and hyped for this.
Yeah. Everything except that dumb Superboy costume.
Oh yeah, Jordan's costume is a little bland. They've introduced that last season. Yeah.
I know the last shot of the show is going to be him getting a new suit.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
You sent us that clip of the Doomsday fight. That looks actually pretty good for a CW show.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely put their money into it. They, in fact, actually,
CW is actually pretty good with some of their CG.
Some of it is really good, and some of it they have to lacks. If you look at some of the finale stuff they did
save
in Arrow,
it for important moments.
That's it.
Some stuff that's not looking great for.
The Gorilla looked great, and
Gorilla Grodd looked great. I thought.
Yeah, like their CG looked good. These the most current CG looked really great.
Yeah,
it's a Supergirl. I think that's the. It looks like crap. There's a lot of really bad scenes in Supergirl.
Yeah,
but it's because it requires so much.
Yeah, for sure. So, guys, let's jump on to some of the stuff the MCU decided to drop on. Obviously, I didn't pull any images, but they showed apparently they showed another trailer of Captain America, and they had a full frontal visual of Harrison Ford dressed as Hulk. Full Monty, of course.
As Hulk. I don't think they painted him.
Sorry, Red Hulk, I should say, yeah. But then, of course, Harrison Ford came on stage. I think you saw the video, right, of him coming on stage and then hulking out.
Yeah, he looks like he's having legit. We talked about this today, but I think he's having legitimate fun with this role. Like, I've never seen him do anything like this at a panel. I've seen a lot of interviews where he comes out, he waves, he does his thing. This time he was like, even in interviews after, he was getting into Hulk face and having fun with the reporter, which is like either he took the best edible or he just genuinely had fun doing this stuff.
Feige dosed it with edibles and just said, "Go on stage." I swear that's it.
I thought he was gonna hurt himself.
Looks like he's having a heart attack there. Look at that.
There and started like hulking. I was like, "Hey, whoa, calm
down." Harrison Ford doesn't give two fucks at this point.
The last 40 years, Brent. He's been stoned for the last 40 years. It's his own weed. He has his own weed.
Did you see the interview of him telling the reporter, "Don't get me started," because he started going into Hulk faces?
Yeah, he's having fun. He's having fun. I mean, again, and he seemed to look like he had a really good time. It's between him and Captain America, Anthony Mackie. Thank you. Anthony Mackie really loved working with him, and it seemed like Harrison Ford really loved working with Anthony Mackie on set, which is cool.
Anthony Mackie's still like really stoked about his role, I feel like.
Yeah. Then, of course, they started talking about the Fantastic Four, which has got its first title, guys. What do you think? First Steps is the name of the
I don't love the title.
It
makes it sound very origin-y, and I think we all know the Fantastic Four's origin. I think it'd be cooler if they didn't have to run through that.
I want to see the origin. Like, that'd be great.
This version of the origin, because this is we did not see any leaks of the trailer online. We didn't see any leaks of the trailer online, but it seems like from what we hear from the leaks that we didn't see, people basically shut up. the look of it is it looks cool. I mean, from what
I heard that Galactus.
Well, from what I heard, it was all kind of test footage that he did like on 16 millimeter when he was casting them and just.
They've only been shooting for a couple of days, apparently. Yeah, they haven't been shooting for long.
A lot of footage.
Yeah, there's a surprising amount of footage. Even
Yeah.
some renderings of the Thing in the shadows.
Yes,
There's a
yes.
lot of Ben Grimm as a human, supposedly.
Yeah.
Having fun with the period that it's in, which I really like.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
I mean, if we had seen the images are very, very 60s kind of retro that we hadn't seen. That
Mostly white backgrounds look like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this new. I like the era it's in. I'm excited.
Yeah,
about
me
this.
too.
Max, you don't like that it's an origins story?
I just think we've had two Fantastic Four movies that have already been origin movies. I think people know they get into an action space. I think it's okay. Let me just. I think it's fine to flash back to it quickly. Kind of incorporate that a little bit. I think if it's too much of an origin movie, I'm going to be a little bored. I kind of want to see them already in their prime instead of having to figure out how to do everything.
Right.
I think since it's like the MCU and it's Marvel's first family, I think we're owed an origins for these guys.
Yeah, I agree.
They're going to be that important. And plus, they're doing it in the 60s too. I think that
and they're putting him into this now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think
they're squeezing him into this so that we got to have some story, some origin of what's happening.
Yeah, because I'm on board with with cutting origins, but for this, I'm gladly welcoming it because
I've been saying I'm not a fan of them being in the alt past universe only because I don't want to have to see them catch up to the present.
Well, from my perspective, it's going to be interesting to see these fish out of water characters. It'd be very similar to what we saw with Captain America.
That's why I don't want to see it.
But he was a fish out of water that suddenly got, we dealt with that past story, and then of course we pick up with them in the future, in the present, I should say. And
he caught up quick.
He caught up quick.
He was already well integrated by the time Winter Soldier came out.
I'm fine because
I can already see the lame jokes of Reed Richards being like, "What's a cell phone?"
Possibly. I'm sure, but at the same time, I think it might be the only way to introduce these characters of something that is not a direct copy of the typical story we would expect.
I just like we're getting the 60s era, because that is fun, that is such a aesthetic that we connect to comics, and I think this has been talked about a lot of the Fantastic Four somehow being in the 60s, but not necessarily a parallel universe, but being stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think there's they're planning for a huge convergence in the MCU.
Yeah.
So then a lot of stuff is going to cross over. So I don't know. I'm stoked. I think we're at a new
interesting
era.
Yeah. Something interesting in the trailer that we never saw was that it was the aspect ratio for the screen was 3:4, which is old school TV format, and then in the final scenes that we never saw, it expands to the large thing. I wonder if they're going to do a similar thing they did with say Galaxy Quest, where Galaxy Quest started off on a kind of small format, then it went to
then they're going to have
it was a clip show.
Yeah. And they're gonna have the origins and the 4:3 ratio, and then have everything else in full.
Yeah. Now I think they'll do some sort of thing because I feel like they're gonna. I feel like what was shown at the trailer clip feels like it's a beginning part of what. I feel like they're going to expand on that very quickly, and I feel like they might even move out.
Those shots might not even be in the movie. It might have just been test footage and chemistry tests and stuff like that.
Yeah. Then again, also, I keep hearing that certain things, start shooting well in advance of them officially saying it because they sound like they've got quite a bit of stuff.
They've definitely been shooting something.
Yeah. Even though they're saying principal photography starts this week, sometimes I also kind of question that. I feel like, there's
also a lot of previs.
Sure, yeah. No, absolutely.
So, stuff like some of the Ben Grimm stuff we saw, I imagine is previs. It's going to be fleshed out into a full scene.
Yeah.
Or that we didn't see, I should say, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, I'm definitely excited for it. I still was kind of on the fence about Pedro Pascal playing...
I don't agree with the mustache. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've seen a lot of other people say it too.
Uh-huh.
I do he should either be clean shaven or with a full beard. I just think a mustache doesn't feel very Reed Richards-y.
Yeah. again, it's going to be about performance.
Yeah.
It'll be about performance. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think I like Pedro Pascal's a fun actor to watch. I love The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I love the rest of the cast. I mean, everyone else is an absolute killer of an actor.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's going to be fun. Yeah, we're definitely.
And did you see that map I sent you of the Fantastic Four's New York that had the Baxter Building on it? It had
where was that? Where was that
it.
map? Where was that map from? Was that something that was actually at Comic-Con,
It
or
was
was that
something
just?
showed off at the panel.
Oh, they did. Okay.
I think it was
They
on
showed
the
a map.
screen. It was like on the main screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had Yancey Street on it with Ben Grimm's synagogue.
I
Excelsior, whatever.
Yeah, the Excelsior launch pad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice little Stan Lee reference.
I didn't put it. I don't think I put it up there because
this is so great. Like we're gonna get like, this is what
You're
I'd
gonna
like
get more
to
people.
see.
They have Subterranea on it.
This is what I'd love to see, like the Fantastic Four framed in like the '60s vibe. Like that's
So we can see
exciting.
the Yancey Street Gang.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
I'm just so stoked. Like we're at a good place in comic book movies where they're not afraid to be comic book accurate.
Yeah.
With their stuff, where it's like encouraged now instead of being dark and gritty. So like this is exciting times.
No, totally. Excuse me. So other news that they dropped. Russo brothers are officially going to be doing the next two Marvel movies, which
two Avengers movies.
Sorry, two Avengers movies. Doomsday around Doom, of course, which we'll go to that in a second in our thoughts. And then Secret Wars. So 2026
a good track record when it comes to Marvel. So
they have a great track record.
I've heard Martin McFeely and the two writers from Captain America and Endgame and all that are coming back too.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They want to do what works.
Yeah.
Like almost a guaranteed win if you get. It's like let's just try to do everything that we had with the Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah,
you need to get back there.
But still give us something different and new. I mean that kind of.
I know. I would have preferred new writers, new blood in there, so we're not chasing the nostalgia all the way.
Feely.
Yeah,
I'm just game for whatever they do.
Yeah.
I'm happy with. I like every Russo brothers Marvel movie.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I think they're the best out of everything.
So let's talk about the. I guess it became a controversial moment, but it was kind of exciting.
Some people love it or hate it. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. as Doom.
So here's what I think the problem is. I'll say right off the bat. People assume this is going to be like an infamous Iron Man scenario, where in the comics Doom becomes Iron Man, for lack of a better term.
I don't think that. No.
Yeah, I don't think that either. A lot of comic book fans are really thinking that, and they don't like that. They think it's going to be, they think it's going to be a Tony Stark variant as a Doctor Doom, as a reverse infamous Iron Man. I think he's going to be Victor Von Doom. I think he's going to be Fantastic Four World's Victor Von Doom.
Okay.
I think that's a cool idea.
With no explanation. I guess we got that from Johnny Storm though, because Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four was played by Chris.
That's a different universe.
Yeah, I know it's a different universe. Yeah,
that's what we're saying. Yeah, is that this is in a different universe, and Fantastic Four is going to be their Doctor Doom is going to be Robert Downey Jr. Just like the Fantastic Four's Chris Evans ends up playing the Avengers. Captain America.
Chris Evans,
Yeah, but it doesn't feel exactly the same as that, you know.
However,
there was a lot of time between those.
Those movies aren't even. That movie's not even connected to the MCU either. So that's what's kind of weird about it, you know.
Elijah, sorry. Elijah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. However, they explain it. I think Robert Downey. You okay?
No.
However they explain it, I think Robert Downey Jr. will do a interesting job. However he plays it, he's going to play it completely different, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just your completely different character. Because if he plays it too Robert Downey, if he plays it too much of himself, it's just gonna feel weird. It is gonna feel like why are they recasting it like this? Yeah. But maybe Doom's under a mask the entire time, or he plays it so differently, it looks so different.
Yeah.
that
Well,
I kind of hope he
concept is
does take
completely
off the
different.
mask, and it's the original
Well,
story of
it's
just
an
him having
alternate
a
version. I
small
mean, we
scar
know
on
it's
his
a
face.
different, right, a tiny scar, but we know it's a different universe. We already know it's a different world or whatever that this Fantastic Four is going to be in. So
right.
I don't know, but I mean, going into Secret Wars, like, is there going to be a change? Is he, with the colors? I mean, people were saying that the colors of the logo is like the red and the gold
Right.
for Secret Wars. So
Yeah.
maybe Iron Man comes back or a different character plays
Yeah, that'd be
plays Iron
interesting.
Man.
Yeah, you're right. There definitely is. The logo is very
There's
interesting.
been rumors for years of Tom Cruise coming in to play Iron Man. They've been trying to get
really?
that in for a lot of movies.
I don't think so. I don't think that's his.
I thought we were gonna get that in a
thing.
multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
He was approached. He was asked to be in it.
Oh yeah. How's he going to be? Well, we were just saying, Anchorman, that we kind of. I mean, here's my theory. They may try to weave in, and that is that Tony Stark at birth, the parents die, and somehow the Von Doom family are connected to the Starks, and they decide to adopt him, and that way it's just simply the face is same, but
I don't think it's
but the
be
life
any version of
experiences.
Tony Stark. I think it's going to be a Doctor Doom.
Right. Just he is.
I think they're gonna. I think the Marvel's changing ship. They were gonna have Kang be the bad guy in Secret Wars to replace Doom, God Emperor Doom from the comics.
Yeah.
I think this time they're just leaning into using Doctor Doom. He's not only more well known. They don't want to have to deal with recasting Kang. They just want to sweep that aside and show everyone what they want to see, which is Doom.
Now, I really feel that the big moment will be Peter Parker coming across Doom at some point in the future, and that's going to be an interesting emotional response to something that is obviously going to be quite the villain and quite the bad guy, and be a very different change of character too. I think that's something really kind of fun to see. I also want to just point out that in the sense of dramatic roles, I meant Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. He played the bad guy. He played the antagonist, at least, not the bad guy. But he's got an incredible range of performance, and I feel like I'm looking forward. And I don't think he would have come back if people were expecting him to play a base of Tony Stark of some sort. He definitely is in for the role of something totally different, and I'm excited to see what he does to the performance.
He got his Oscar, and so now he could just play now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He did the thing. He did a good film, won an Oscar, and now he could do the fun stuff again now. Not that he didn't have fun doing Oppenheimer, but
Anchorman, will that? No, because 2027 is when Secret Wars comes out. So,
and then they're going to the mutant saga,
and then they're going to go.
Yeah, there's no end to the MCU as long as it keeps making money. Disney's
absolutely.
I think Deadpool kept them alive for another couple movies.
Yeah, Deadpool definitely kept them alive. We're probably going to see Wolverine around and as well. So we'll see how long. However, well, I mean, come on. Okay, we won't go into that. We won't say anything about Wolverine then. Sorry, I forgot already. So with that, what other stuff did they drop? The one thing that's interesting, actually, is that both the Mandalorian and Grogu film and Avengers Doomsday come out within the same month of each other, within May of 2026. One of them's going to have to move.
I do think there's no way those come out the same weekend.
No. Well, it'd be in the same month, but I think they will. I get the feeling...
they'll space them out. I feel like one of them's going to come out. Sure. They're going to drop one earlier, drop one later, because Disney's not going to step on their own feet.
No, absolutely not. No, I mean they're going to want to push them a month or two apart at least. So I feel like Avengers Doom will get pushed maybe until July, or Mando and Grogu might be in production in a good place to come out in April too, which is if they switch that out. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. One of the things that you didn't see, I guess, was you'd already left at that point, Max, was they did an incredible drone show.
Oh yeah.
Which is quite impressive that this is all drones. How freaking amazing this stuff looks.
It is nuts.
just obviously promoting Deadpool and Wolverine, but there's no
One of the things,
spoilers,
this isn't spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine, but one of the things that I definitely noticed is, so in the comics, Wolverine hasn't been allowed to smoke cigars for like maybe 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
The movie, they didn't even give a shit, because it was rated R. They're like, yeah, you can be smoking in this movie.
Yeah.
He was like he was a raging alcoholic too.
Yeah.
We were fine with that in the books, just no smoking.
Yeah. What else is there?
No more cigarette ads in comic books anymore.
Oh yeah, of course. Anything that wasn't announced, TV related, is probably going to be released at D23 because they didn't.
Stuff's gonna be,
yeah.
From what I hear from Andy Park, one of the visual effects or visual previs, whatever. I don't feel what he does at Marvel. He was at the con. He was saying a lot of the TV stuff.
Yeah.
And some they're projects that haven't been like, besides Avengers stuff, they're trying to announce some new projects. He hinted that maybe Young Avengers could come before the Avengers movies.
I'm excited to see that
show.
Yeah.
Almost forgot about the Young Avengers.
I mean, they've been playing with Kamala Khan has been like the one who's going to pull together the Young Avengers, which I think is the right idea.
Kate Bishop.
She's the most popular at this point. So
I also think they need something that's more geared towards newer viewers and younger people, rather than the MCU is kind of starting to gear towards people who have nostalgia from it from 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. Do you think they'll introduce these Young Avengers within these upcoming films before?
I think we've seen a lot of them already. I think,
but as a coming together, could there be a moment that the Avengers are in such dire trouble?
It's either going to happen.
Suddenly, the Young Avengers team together for the first time and save the day. Then they get their own separate story. Could that be a possibility?
No, nothing that's been announced really.
Okay.
I do kind of hope that project does come before Doom's Wars, but it sounds like it's not at this point.
Yeah, unless it's TV.
Unless it's TV, but Doom's Wars might be the first time they assemble. But we've already seen, Wiccan. We've already seen Kamala.
Of course.
Not usually, but, like Kate Bishop we've seen. We haven't seen Iron Lad, but we've been introduced to Kang already. So
we got Ironheart.
Yeah, Ironheart. I forgot about her. Ironheart's been introduced. Elijah Bradley's nephew has been introduced into the MCU.
Natasha's sister, I think, would count as one.
Ant-Man's daughter.
Oh yeah,
Cassie Lang.
Yeah.
A lot of these characters are already introduced. They're just going to be a scene of Kamala Khan, Nick Fury, and them.
I haven't. Max, you've been keeping up to date with.
I haven't seen part 3 yet.
Oh, you haven't seen part 3? Okay.
The newest one I've seen is part 2.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Dude, that's crazy. Marvel Studios have been making movies so long that there's kids out there who don't know a world without Marvel Studios.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of crazy.
They're growing up and they're already at least 15 years old.
Yeah.
And know nothing but Marvel Studios existing. Yeah. So
that's so
it's the new age of Disney films of
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there were some Disney films that all three of us watched growing up, like Bambi and stuff like that.
Yeah, but nothing has been this big as a connected universe.
Universe, yeah.
Like this is massive.
Except for Star Wars, but Star Wars was still defined until it.
I think this is a little bit bigger than Star Wars.
Bigger than that, because they outnumber the number of movies by so much.
It's just transcended. Yeah. It's become way more of a general audience. Even though Star Wars is a general audience thing, MCU is very general audience.
Harry Potter was close until a certain point, but now they're like.
Marvel they weren't even able to finish their prequels.
But Harry Potter had a beginning, middle, and end, so to speak. They had.
But as far as the amount of movies within a connected storyline, Marvel has surpassed that tenfold.
Yeah.
But there's really nothing like this.
Yeah, guys. I mean, that's all I've got there. Did anything else pique your interest or come to your ears on Comic-Con this year of stuff that was out there that was interesting or worth mentioning on topic?
Oh, I walked by Huey from The Boys.
What's that?
I
walked by
him. I was trying to grab a photo. I was like, "Hey, want to take a photo real quick?" And he was like, "Yeah." I put his arm around me. Then his handler whapped my phone and was like, "No photos."
Wow, that sucks.
Wait a minute, what? Who said no photos?
His handler.
his handler, the guy who was walking.
Oh, his
to the,
handler.
cylinder
Weird.
booth. Yeah.
Wow. That's annoying, especially if he actually says, "Sure, go ahead." Jack Quaid. Yeah.
I heard Keanu Reeves was on the floor. That I was
Yeah.
looking for. I saw Jack Quaid. I was looking for Keanu Reeves.
He was on the
walking
floor. Yeah.
I saw he was with the floor with the drummer of Anthrax, which is one of my favorite bands. So I was
really?
I gotta find these guys.
It's like you'd never be able to find. There's such a zoo in there. But I mean, I know that the Kiners who did the music for Star Wars, they were on the floor. I saw photos with them. Just
I wouldn't know what they look
fans.
like.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. But there were a lot of people.
His nephew though, in line.
Who, sir?
That was really random. Steve Ditko, one of the artists who created Spider-Man.
Oh, Steve Ditko. Oh yeah.
I met Steve Ditko's nephew. I was
His
in
nephew,
line for
sorry.
Tom King.
Okay.
And the guy was in front of me. I saw his name tag said Ditko on it, and I was like,
right.
"You related to Steve?" And I was like, "Oh, his nephew. You came to give a present to Tom King." He was right in front of me in line.
That's cool.
Did you tell Jack Quaid? He's like, man, Huey had a rough season, man.
I didn't mention the boys. I talked about my adventures with Superman with him. I told him about the season.
That's funny. I keep forgetting that. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I need to remember to catch up on. Shit.
Oh, you haven't caught up on it? Dude. It's worth watching.
Yeah, just to watch it.
Yeah, the season was
Oh,
great.
you finally watched it?
No, he hasn't.
No,
I watched it.
Brent
Jason hasn't. Yeah, I watched it. Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah, his nephew was, he wasn't a young man. He wasn't like my age, but he was a little bit older. He was probably in his 40s He wasn't young.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's old. He's not like an old man.
He was old.
Yeah. I'm
Steve Ditko's not with us anymore.
He was old.
Yeah.
His nephew.
Yeah, guys. I mean, that's basically all I can think of that was kind of big news in over the weekend. But there was a lot of news. There was a lot of drops. There was a lot of information. D23 is the next big one that comes up in a couple of weeks' time. So we're going to get a lot of Star Wars news from that, and we're going to get a lot more Marvel TV news related stuff. I think they've kind of spent their feature film stuff on Comic-Con, which is kind of great to see Marvel back at Comic-Con again, because they were not there for the last couple of years, right?
They were doing a victory lap this whole weekend. I think they knew Deadpool was going to be huge.
Sure.
So they came out with all the Deadpool people just to do that victory lap.
They were at a low point these last couple of years, so.
Yeah, well, yeah. Again.
Yeah.
The lowest point was a Secret Invasion. That was the lowest point.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah.
But
anyway.
It's been a rough year for them until now.
Well, rough couple of years, yeah. But I mean, I feel confident that we, after seeing Deadpool and Wolverine, if they keep this pace where they remind themselves what the audience does want and need, and
quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity. I'd rather see a single film a year.
Well, that was what was good about Comic-Con for them this year. Is they didn't announce 50 movies that aren't going to come out. They showed stuff for Captain America. They talked about Thunderbolts, and then they announced what's really
Thunderbolts. That was the other one. I completely forgot about that.
That was much of a nothing panel. I don't think they showed a clip. They just kind of talked about how excited they are, and everything they were saying was just a PR nonsense of
But I don't even know what to make of Thunderbolts. I don't know if that's. I mean, it's all about the semi.
I think the asterisk is just going to mean dark. They're going to be the Dark Avengers, and that's going to be a big part of Doom War.
Yeah, I had read somewhere. I don't know if this is true
about that. I like everyone is. It's got Bucky. It's got a
Oh no, it's got a good cast. I'm not as invested in those characters. I think is where I'm going with it. But apparently, from what I hear, Val purchased the Avengers Tower. Is that?
Oh, is she the one who purchased it?
Supposedly, that's the rumor that people are saying that she's the one who purchased it.
Sounds like some Dark Avenger shit to me.
Yeah.
Man, that's just got me really excited.
Yeah.
I was wondering who purchased it.
Yeah.
So Gabbard had it. Cool.
Yeah. So I mean, that's his rumor. I don't know if that's real.
Our universes, or the MCU's universes, like Norman Osborn's Iron Patriot, where she makes her own Iron Man armor from the Stark stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he get killed? Who kills him?
Norman?
Yeah, Iron Patriot.
Essentially beats his ass in Dark Reign.
Yeah.
What's this?
You think we'll get that? You think we already got the Iron Patriot in the MCU?
I think Sentry is going to be in Thunderbolts anyway. I don't remember who's cast as him right now, but I think that's going to be the big thing is Sentry turning on Val.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for joining us out there in the chat. If you're watching this later and you haven't already, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed what we talked about. I guess there'll be a couple of things coming up that we'll probably do reactions to. I don't know what is exactly next. We'll definitely talk about a couple of films and stuff that are coming out in the MCU and all that. I guess. Well, actually,
Kid Crusader's coming
next?
out soon. We'll probably talking about Kid Crusader.
Yeah. Kid Crusader, yeah, I definitely can't wait to see that. That's going to be fun. I don't know if they're dropping that all at once or not, or whether they're doing.
I think weekly,
weeks.
like Invincible.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's cool. And then, of course, I think the next. I mean, we might do a reaction to Star Wars Galaxy, mashing the galaxy up or whatever it was. That's the Lego one. It was fun. I like the Lego stuff. They're kind of fun. And then, of course, later this year we'll be doing. Yeah, there'll be Skeleton Crew. We've got. Hang on. We've got Agatha all along.
Right, that's the next one, right?
That's the next Marvel one, which would be kind of cool. Agatha all along. Yeah. And yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Anyway, guys, we shall catch you all later. Thanks for joining us.
Pick another target, a military target. Name the system.